Hello and welcome to Cracking the Vault, the podcast where we are going through every Walt Disney Pictures release in order. My name is Xander.
I am Jacob.
I'm Trevor.
I'm Rachel.
You don't like the way I said my name, Rachel?
I didn't like
Trevor.
Trevor.
I had to sing it
I'm
like the guy.
Trevor.
I had to sing it like the guy.
Jake.
Davy Crockett.
Davy
Crockett. Crockett. That's what I was going for, so.
Davy.
I guess everyone just didn't like my bit I tried to bring up.
Cracking the vault. Talk about Davy Crockett.
No, I
Crockett
hate
the vault.
that. No.
Crock in the vault.
No.
We crock in
That.
Croc in the vault.
Crock in the Vault, actually.
Thank you. I do some good things sometimes.
Hey.
Croc
Yeah, I
and
stole it from
Davy.
him. But I still got the
You got the
win
recognition.
for it. Yeah, I got the recognition for it. So I win.
He
Rachel.
never gets that, so let him have it.
Much like Davy Crockett, I guess.
We
I
watched
don't
Davy
know.
Crockett today.
Much like Davy Crockett, we watched Davy Crockett.
Did he?
He wrote a book about himself.
That's not
According
watching.
to this movie, it is.
According to this movie.
Yeah, I mean.
That
it's
is
the-
100% how Davy
Yeah,
Crockett
it's
lived.
Completely historically accurate, you know. Disney's good at that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it. It really is always a pleasure when we start one of these and there's that content warning at the beginning, that
Oh,
11-second unskippable content warning that's like, all right,
Just
we're
so
gonna
you know,
be
we
in
did
for
a
we
this.
fucked up.
racism.
Just so you know, we fucked up.
Like it's always sad when we have to venture into Amazon and like,
Yeah.
how will we know?
How will I know that it's got
I-
bad content if it doesn't tell me?
How are we all doing?
Pretty good.
We're all, I don't know, man.
It's weird to be doing this at this time of day. Normally it's like 10 p.m.
Yeah.
And
No,
it's
for
what,
sure.
like 6?
No, now we're actually being just like functional people and just doing
There's
this
like
on
a
our
lot
day
more
off.
energy. I don't know.
It's a different vibe.
It is a
It's a
different
different
vibe. I know the sun. It's like bright in here.
No,
So bright.
It's not midnight. It's
It's
fucking.
it's weird. I don't know. Oh, I'm in SpongeBob the Musical.
Which is why we have
This is why we-
massive gap in
Yes.
recording.
Come see that in June.
Uh,
No,
July.
July.
It's like June.
I
It was
don't
like
know
you
when.
said you couldn't come to my birthday because
I don't know
this
where
show.
anything in my life takes place.
He knows it's happening. He just doesn't know when.
That's it. I turn 21 soon.
Yay!
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
You can
work.
finally buy your own illicit
By this
substances.
episode, I actually might be 21.
It's funny because he is. He totally is 21 right now. I don't know. I was gonna have a bit. Go say happy birthday, I guess. That's the bit. Back to the episode.
What do you got?
I work.
Yes, you do.
I have started getting longer hours at
Oh
work.
yeah, you're working.
Oh,
nights
yeah,
now.
you're bartending.
I work longer. I only work. That is all I do.
That is all he
that
does. He works and edits.
I work and I edit. Yeah, that's all that really.
Yeah.
Rachel, how's
Right.
your life?
My pharmacy is open 24 hours now,
Ooh.
so there's different shifts coming.
Hopefully you don't get any like dumb hours.
On
Working
Wednesday,
double shifts like me.
On Wednesday, I work 3:30 to midnight.
Oh, that's not as bad as like 7 p.m. to like 5 a.m. because I feel like
Oh yeah,
that
no,
would
they're
suck.
not. They're not keeping technicians overnight.
That's good.
I
I could not even imagine.
That'd be.
I'm almost done with school.
That's
I
lazy.
believe I have 2 tests coming up. 3 tests, and then I'll be done. I don't know. I kind of think that's it.
Sanderborg, life,
What life?
valid. I don't know what the list is. 'Cause
Well,
it's been edited.
okay.
Disney news?
Listen. Okay. Is there any like major Disney news that is?
Besides the fact that I'm missing all the events.
Ugh, I know,
Oh.
right?
Yeah, there's a
The
lot
fact
of
that I'm
events.
missing
going
like
on.
Star Wars
and
Night and Pixar Fest and
Right.
Traditional Night.
I
and
thought you were
Lovers.
going to Star Wars Night.
Me and my brother don't have money,
Aw.
and so
I was
we're
like-
gonna try to go this Christmas time. But yeah, hopefully.
A lot of
I need to make my yearly Disney trip.
like stuff with Tiana's
I was
development.
just about to say they
Yeah.
released a lot more about the animatronics. They like first views into those. But, ow! I punched the mic.
Oh my god.
But no, they went into Tiana's stuff. I don't know a lot of other things.
The rules for the DAS pass are going to change,
Yeah.
which is going to affect disability access to the parks.
Hopefully not in a terribly bad way.
Hard to tell.
We'll see when it's implemented. But
See
you
what it
know, if
I
they're
feel like
you know,
most things that Disney does, it's gonna go wrong immediately when they change it. Like
Yes.
it's gonna fucking fail. But then, like in a couple months, it'll be better.
That's
than
how it always
was
works,
originally.
yeah, for sure.
But for a good couple months, there's gonna be some problems. I'd bet.
No. Okay. There's one major kind of Disney thing that's happened since we last recorded, which is that we Wish, the movie we refused to
Oh,
see in
did
theaters.
Wish.
And Disney
Did we
Plus.
watch that between episodes?
I believe so.
Absolutely,
Wow,
we did.
what a
yes.
movie.
I don't know. It's really crazy that a major Disney animated release came out, and I don't know, like,
Did a really bad job.
yeah, wow.
Yeah.
I'm on the weird thing with it. Like I
Yeah.
didn't like.
Kung Fu Panda 4 came out, got like, it spent like 84 million making and made like 200 something million, like some crazy fucking number. And I'm like, that's what you want. That's what you want when you release a movie, not whatever happened to Wish.
I don't know. I could watch Wish again. Like I don't think I dislike it as much as you guys dislike it.
I mean, I will watch Wish again in the same way that I kind of will eventually watch every Disney movie again. It's just kind of in the rotation for me.
I'll probably watch it again at some point. But
I don't know.
will not tell you when.
It wasn't. When we were watching it, I was not vibing with it, but I was very. I don't know. I was always just in this weird place with it. It's like, it's not bad, but it's not very good. And
Yeah.
on the other side of it, being able to like reevaluate the whole of it, I was like, I think that was actually like extremely bad. Like, unbelievably incoherent as a movie.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you what like the story was. Honestly, like
Alan Tudyk.
He's keeping the wishes.
he's keeping like like other than this man is just keeping the wish. Died what nothing what.
Listen, I enjoyed
I know.
it.
I like the star guy. I like the goat.
Yeah, like I like the entire. Like there was a lot of things. I'm not saying this is like a top 10 Disney movie for me,
Yeah.
but like tonight I could put this movie on and enjoy it. That's it. Like that's how I feel about it. It's like
I could put this movie on and gonna make fun of it
Yeah.
and enjoy it that way, but I couldn't sit there
Look,
and enjoy the movie for the movie.
It's I totally understand that. And like on some level it might not be fair to it, but if you're going to try and do this manipulative measure of like, we're making a celebration of the 100th anniversary of Disney,
They could have done better.
I wish it was better.
yeah, I totally understand that. As a celebration for the 100th year, I don't think that was the vibe they should have went with. As a movie itself, like not like take away this isn't the 100-year anniversary movie. I feel like it's an okay movie, but I feel like it was overhyped. That's the thing. Is Disney was like, this is the hottest shit we're putting on the market, and everyone's like, oh, okay, yeah, like that's cool. And then they watched it and they're like,
I think they felt compelled to make it Wish themed because of When You Wish Upon a Star,
Right.
but they did it bad.
Yeah.
I don't know. I have a weird like. I enjoyed that movie a lot more than I thought I was going to. Again, I'm not going to. Oh, I'm bored. Let me watch Wish. But like I could put it on again And just I kind of like again, I don't know. The references to me were just like, I don't know if it was the kid in my brain where like a little reference came up and I was like, oh, I know that one. And I just felt rewarded when that would happen to me. But I know they could have, a lot of things could have been done in better ways than what they did. I don't know. It was just like things popped up and it made my brain happy. Some sort of like chemical kicked in every time there was a reference and it made me happy.
It just felt so cynical. I think that's like when a reference would happen, or like when all of there are so many side characters in the movie because you have to have all 7 dwarves in it.
I think that without like all the references, like what is the movie without all these big references and
right?
You know?
Well, yeah, that's the thing is you could tell they made references first, and then they were like,
yeah,
story,
yeah.
It just I don't know. It feels like without like all these like not secret, but little references to other Disney movies and wishes and whatever. It's not really
because
anything.
you can see that's exactly what they were going for. They wanted to make a movie of references back for 100 years.
Yeah, I don't know. Instead, it just feels like a parade of vague Disney gestures trying to, like, trying to evoke that nostalgia. For you, it worked. I don't know. How did it ever, like, get a rise out of you, Jake? Sorry. Audio medium, Jake.
Do not really know. I mean, I think the most fun I had out of it was making fun of it.
Yeah.
And just like shitting on it. And so, I mean, I don't know. Like, I like my favorite thing was probably the little Peter Pan one. I was like, yeah, Peter Pan. But like,
I will refrain from saying my favorite part, but it's okay.
Oh, I wonder.
It ends with an ambi. Yes.
But yeah, I don't know. I'm more with you on this. I'm on your side. Fuck you, Trevor.
I know. Again, with most things, I'm always the odd man out. But like, I don't know. I think it was.
I don't know. How does this always happen?
I don't know. My brain's weird. I feel like
the inner workings of your mind or an amalgamation.
I'm an enigma.
So Davy Crockett.
What a movie! what a movie Davy Crockett is.
I don't even know what to say about it. Besides Davy Crockett, I don't know. Like
I liked it.
I enjoyed it.
I genuinely. This movie was like I thought I was gonna hate it a lot more, just because I think it's because of the past live action ones we've seen, where it wasn't setting up a good for me. But watching it, I was a lot more entertained than I thought I would be.
Yeah. I don't know.
yeah. Totally, yeah.
It's based on a real person.
That was crazy because also when you said that, I also thought it was just kind of like a Robin Hood thing where it's like folklore. It's like this is the Davy Crockett, guys.
I thought it was like I knew it was a real dude, but I knew it was like a super folklore like hypertelling of it.
Well,
but like
I think that's
essentially it was based on some guy named Davy Crockett who like was in the army.
It's sort of
but
like
90% of what he did is like folklore.
It's like this circular thing where he starts as a real dude and then everyone makes fun of him and then everyone makes folklore of him that's just like Davy Crockett killed a bear when he was 3 and then like after the folklore is popularized like 30 years later Disney comes back and is like, what if we did like the folklore version but it's all tied to the actual history and it becomes the new popular Davy Crockett.
I don't know. It was enjoyable. I had a good viewing.
It was enjoyable.
Had fun time.
Had fun time.
So this started as something we've talked about a couple times, I think. The Disneyland TV show, we've definitely talked about it before. Mm-hmm. This was obviously on the Frontierland segment. I believe this was the first Frontierland segment on the show because every episode would be a different like land. I don't know. There's 5 episodes. I think they made 3, the 3 that became this movie, and then they became unbelievably popular, and they made 2 more, which became the next movie.
That's like the river one, right?
Yep.
I remember when I was trying to write a review, I was like, wait, which one was it? And I was like, I didn't know there was more.
Yeah. Ignore the fact that he dies at the end of this.
Wait, hold on. I didn't even connect that. Yeah, how is there a second one when he dies?
It just kind of-
think about it. It's Davy Crockett.
They literally, I don't know.
Does it now turn into folklore?
Is it
They,
a
yeah,
sequel,
I mean,
or is
it
it
is
like here's another
it's like the
insight
lost
on his
episodes.
life?
Oh, it's kind of like what happened in between all that.
It's like and
I was like, it sounds like it was like
tales of the
this
on
is
the
just
side
shit he did.
that
Side
could have
quest.
happened
Davy,
before he
Davy.
died. Davy.
Yeah, that. Oh, the freaking that song. I just.
That they sang in between.
I
every
love
single
it for
one.
like no
It's a
reason.
great song.
I'm just
honestly.
like,
it is an
Davy,
absolute classic. There is a
Davy
reason
Crockett,
that it like played on the radio all the fucking time before Elvis.
About the third time it played, I wanted to kill myself because I was just
The-
sitting there and I was like,
The
"Oh,
funniest
my
one
God.
is the fucking campaign one. I
Oh, yeah.
do not know why, but it's so funny that this wilderness, like
It's
David Crockett, it's like something campaign
because that's
Okay.
how it just switches. It goes
So
from like
weird.
it goes
Oh,
from
when
like
we all
forest.
accidentally thought he said something racist.
Oh, that was a good one.
That one's further. That one's like towards the end.
Because this movie is not.
They say a lot of
natives.
words in this movie.
Oh.
It's
A lot of not a
There's
lot of fake words and a lot of bad
The
words.
racism warning is there for a reason.
Yes.
yeah. The racism warning is needed in this movie.
Let's just say the word red comes up a lot.
Sure.
Even relating
Yes.
to like a lot of like from bugs
Very,
to like
very
objects.
frequently.
They just like putting it in front of a lot of different things for no reason.
You can make a lot of slurs.
By just adding the word red in front of something, you made it.
Yeah, it was kind of crazy every time. where
Like
I
you
was
could just say like hornet.
what was the one? It was the one that Hook said. That was. He was the only one that ever said it.
Oh,
And it was-
Aborigines.
Yeah, it was really funny when I was just like,
Like wow, that's all of a sudden a very big word for you. Why? Why?
I feel like you're saying that in such a rude
Like,
way.
it's just such a
He said it, and I was like, you didn't need to say it like that, bud.
yeah. I don't know. I feel like there's just a lot of lines and stuff that it's like okay, you didn't need to go that far.
This is
Like,
like
You get the point. These were like they were saying these things. But, wow.
it's weird because I think this was. I could be totally talking out of my ass, but I feel like the Western was kind of a dying genre in the 50s. Or not like a dying genre, but maybe like kind of like,
I think
you know,
we're-
kind of every time, like
we're
every
getting away from
time.
cowboys.
A little like, you know how every point in the history of like superhero movies, which for better or worse kind of are like the modern Western in terms of like popularity and shit.
Yeah.
You know, like 2008, it's like, they're kind of, or like 2007, it's like, it's winding down, it's on the way out, and then 2008 happens.
like
2012,
Avengers comes along.
16,
and
18,
Infinity War
and now maybe they're finally on their way
on
out.
the way down.
But then who knows?
What's
Or
the next
maybe we're
phase?
like, I don't know.
Peaks and valleys. I don't know.
I feel like Western in the 50s was just getting exhausted with the movies they were making because I feel like every movie was about
There was
a Western
so
guy or
much.
It
Western
was,
shit.
it's like these waves of the kind of Western you can make. I think the 50s you were starting to get like, you know, there's just so many of these goddamn things. And then on television, you know, there's like Gunsmoke, which is one of like a real early TV show. And like,
And then Italy said, "Hear me out."
well, that's the next decade when like, yeah, they're just making what are perceived as these trashy fake Westerns, and they turn out to be the movies that everyone the next decade is going to be like raised on.
Yeah.
And it completely destroys the idea of the Western because it's all so predicated on the West being this like, damn, it's a shame it had to wind down due to civilization. It's
Yeah.
like this kind of lost ideal. Had anyone seen this before?
No.
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 I knew of it because my mom has definitely seen it before.
Okay, that makes sense.
I've known the song since like the beginning of time,
Right.
Plus,
but
he
I
has...
don't know if I've ever like actually seen it.
Yeah, you were maybe like around it.
Potentially, yeah.
Maybe saw clips.
I was aware of the thing with the hat, but not really a lot else. Like,
Right.
you know, he wore the hat and he had the rifle and...
The hat, which was apparently just like there was like some play that was like, I don't know, Wilford McCountry Bumpkin, who's like
Wilford McCountry Bumpkin.
you know, wears a raccoon cap and stuck in the land or whatever, trying to make fun of, like, making fun of Davy Crockett, and then it just kind of like disseminates.
Plus, he has the canoes in the park.
Fess Parker has a window. Fess Parker, the lead actor of this movie, he has a window somewhere in Frontierland.
In Frontierland.
Is
That
it not?
that would make most sense.
Is it not in Frontierland?
I don't know the windows in Frontierland, so
I mean, I don't know.
my main you say windows and I'm like, oh, Main Street.
I also
He's-
cannot place each window in Disneyland.
I'm
I'm
like,
just saying.
I
I
don't-
just assumed it was in Frontierland.
That would make sense. I just don't know any of this.
Isn't the
signage
ones down
in
Main
Frontierland.
Street the
It's just a bunch of Disney people.
I mean, it's
from
just like
animators to
dudes.
just people,
okay, yeah, because I know
construction people, like
I was gonna say I thought that was more Main Street, and then once you go into the like Frontierland, that's
No, there's,
more
like,
like that stuff.
animators and shit on Main Street. Just like there's all sorts of names there.
It's not a phase.
I do. Before we get into talking about this, I do have a very good story. At least in my the experience was great, and I'm going to share
Crockett
it.
story. Yeah, you can tell your Davy Crockett story.
Let's hear it.
So me and my brother are chilling in the Tesla. We had some errand. We were driving, and Davy Crockett comes on, and we start like headbanging to this at a stoplight, just like fucking going ham, singing like whatever. And a guy pulls up, and he's like, "Hell yeah!" So we're like, "Hell yeah!" He knows we're listening to Davy Crockett. Like, this is an awesome experience here. We roll down our window, and he's listening to like the hardest rock ever.
I love
And
this
he's like,
story.
"What are you listening to?" And I just go, "Fucking Davy Crockett!" And then the light turns green, and we go. And it was like, I'm sure he was just sat there like, "What the fuck?"
It's my favorite story.
Because we were blaring Davy Crockett, just going ham. Well, this guy's got like metal, doing the same exact. We're sharing like the same emotion to completely different music right now, and it was awesome. Fantastic.
This man was like, "Oh my god, like some metalheads like me," and then turned out the window, and, like, "What are you listening to?"
Davy Crockett.
Literally
Fantastic.
headbanging to Davy Crockett as this guy's listening to like hard metal,
It was
and then
fantastic.
he just drove away. This
Yeah.
man had to sit there and be like,
Davy Crockett.
He had to like realize that.
I
that
bet you like he was like, "What's Davy Crockett?" Looked it up and was like, "The fuck?"
But yeah, that was my Davy Crockett story.
"Oh, it's one of my favorite stories."
What a gift. What a gift to the world.
that is something that everyone needs to
The
hear.
experience that I shared with some random man that. What if he listens to this and like remembers?
He's like, "It was you."
That's the guy.
That's so funny.
Yeah. Jake, you got any water scores?
Boy, do I. I have a few.
Oh,
I was mainly
I thought
like
that was sarcastic.
inversed into this movie versus the water. Like the water, I was focused on Mr. Crockett.
It's
Not
not
the water.
you don't really think about water when
But
you
I-
think
I
about
do
the
have
frontier.
The first one, the opening shot of the movies on like a reservoir of water, a lake, some sort of shit. 7 out of 10. I'm a liar. It's a 5 out of 10. The next one I have written down is just along the way, just random creeks and rivers, you know, passing by water. 6 out of 10. The gator water, when the gators were there. 7 out of 10. It was pretty sick.
Despite being stock footage, because there's a lot of stock footage in
That's
this movie.
excluding that, not the stock footage.
Oh,
all the other water.
understood.
The stock footage, we didn't cover those, like, nature documentaries. So, like, in general, all of them get about, like, a 4 because the camera's always fucking
Yeah.
trash.
Yeah.
So and each time it's like dock footage from 20 years prior that looks shit. It's a 4. There was a part where the horses were running through water after the gator water. 7 out of 10. Looked sick. When the canoes were there and we saw the big white boat, that was like 8 out of 10 pretty water.
The like Liberty Steamboat
Yeah,
or
like
whatever
the steamboat
is there.
water, yeah. And then any other water besides that falls within like the 6 to 7 range. There wasn't anything in here that was.
There wasn't a lot of like water.
So is
like,
your
beautiful.
what is your
There wasn't
final?
anything that wasn't bad. So I think my final's gonna sit at like a 6 out of 10.
Got it.
6
Understood.
out of 10 waters.
think-
6 out of 10 waters for a
For a-
very middle of the road, especially on the
It's
technical.
Like I don't
sense.
remember like one shot in this that was like, besides like the canoe and like the boat, that was like water. Like here's the other. It was just like, oh yeah, lake, river.
Yeah.
There was nothing.
yeah, it
I
showed
gotcha.
water, but there was nothing really that was like.
It wasn't the scene.
Yeah.
It was like, oh look, river.
Oh look, there's a river back there, guys.
That's it for water. That's
6
actually all of my notes. I
Six-
didn't actually have any other notes.
You
valid.
didn't. You just wrote water notes and that's it.
That's what I
Valid.
do anymore. I
Hey.
experience the movie and I write down my water notes.
Cool.
And I just talk about
Yeah,
whatever else.
we
Valid.
Just, we
Do it. You're
vibe
not
with
taking
whatever. So I mean, the best way to go about this is we've got 3 episodes. So there's the there's the 1812 Creek Nation War. Creek Nation? Wait. Please hold.
Creek Nation,
It can't be Creek War.
It is.
Creek
Or
War.
not. Creek War. Red Stick War. Red Stick was a real person. Let it be known.
God.
Yeah. So all these people were like based off
If
history.
that was his
right?
real name in history?
His name was,
Say.
or like, sorry.
No, you're
So, sorry. It's really hard getting any grasp on the first segment just because, like, it's a really complicated time in history. So, like, trying to put it in a context is just.
It did just kind of throw us in there when we watched
Mhm.
this movie. Just kind of like
It opens with like the army men like, go talk to General Jackson. Go do this. Go do that. We're just like in the war.
I mean, we're in the 1950s, and I'm sure the history of the 1800s is to this time what the history of the 1900s is to us, where it's just like you just know what was going on. We all know that the War of 1812 was going on, and it was definitely just great, and we like found our independence or whatever.
Or whatever.
Meanwhile, Canada's just sitting there like we were there. We did something.
we were there. Yeah,
Believe
we were
us,
there.
we were there.
Trust me.
I don't know.
This one was.
This one was really just hard to sit through.
That's what I was gonna say. It started off. I started liking it more towards the end. Like I think about episode 2 and 3 was halfway through episode 2. The ending acts
Yes.
were like my favorite parts.
Yeah,
but like
absolutely.
when it started, I was like, "What is this?" Like
I really started paying attention at the part where he went home to his wife for the first time and told the general, "Fuck you, I'm going home."
Right.
no.
But when Davy Crockett finally gets to establish some character as outside of
Military.
shooting Indians.
Yeah. That's where I like,
the
that's
entire
when I
beginning
locked
movie is
on.
just like Indians. Yeah, we hate them, and that's
Yeah.
that is the entire beginning of this.
That
movie.
is really the beginning. It's no Indians until Davy Crockett's like, actually, we like the Indians.
I don't know if it's like, but
We
I think
maybe
it's more-
shouldn't murder all of them.
Yeah. Some of these ones aren't bad. There you go. I think that's what it's more along the lines of.
Can't we all get along? Anyway, yeah, I don't know. There are a lot of, this is definitely the most like, I mean, there's this in the last segment in terms of being action heavy, and it's a lot of war. It's a lot
I
of
think this was in the
bloody
first one.
Andrew Jackson.
But there was a part where some guy got shot with an arrow in the back. And literally
it was
waited,
the
like,
first one. Yeah,
15 seconds before he, like, reacted and, like, jumped.
Yeah,
Just
like-
an incredible piece of TV budget filmmaking,
It
right
was
there.
like there's two people in the front of the camera, and he's one of them. And he gets shot. The arrow stays there.
Yeah.
And then 10 seconds later, shit.
Yeah, and he like reacts.
Very funny.
Again, it made sense. I think you said this was made for TV like really far into the beginning.
I made a point of saying that because I wanted it to, like, I don't know, you can tell once you know, but if you don't know, then it looks even shittier.
That's the thing I didn't know. You probably said that, and I just didn't hear you the first time. I didn't hear you until I think the second time you said it, or like I don't know. I just didn't hear it until like halfway into the movie when we were talking about it. But I was sitting there and I was like, why does this look like that?
Right.
Because it looks like there was a few shots where it's like, oh, you guys are like actually in a field, and then other ones where I'm like, you guys are just like painted on there. Like there's a painted background and
Yeah.
you're there. And again, it's a lot of this beginning just kind of being like, hey, look, guns can like puff smoke now when they shoot. I feel like they were just trying to like show off that, hey, we can do things. We can have people fight and like make swords clink and guns actually pop and have sound and things. That's what the like action scenes were. It's like, okay.
Yeah.
Because the action scenes linger. I wrote that a lot in this. It's
They
like
were long.
there was like
In the third one with the Alamo, and it was like 1,500 shots of these men climbing ladders.
yeah, it seemed very show offy. They're just like, look what we can do type things.
Can I put forward like a dumb half-baked theory?
Yeah. Go ahead.
I'm excited now. What?
Is this when Disney truly established live action dominance in
Davy
terms of
Crockett.
production and like their method being successful? Because, you know, it started out as a TV show, and like the Disney process has produced mostly TV quality work. Disney was able to make something that's like kind of normal for their standards, but like on TV, it must have been like pretty incredible.
I can imagine like watching that on TV would be like,
I mean, you
Whoa.
go from like watching like your whatever like cartoon, and then like this like almost movie quality, but not quite.
Right.
Like television show comes on, and you're like, what the fuck?
But also your TV's so small that it might as well be movie quality.
But that yeah, it's pretty much movie quality right there.
I think why it became so famous was because it was like, it was shot for TV but looked like it was a movie.
I don't know. Yeah, it's like so much
I was slurping.
like merchandise and stuff was able to be released off of the back of, you know,
How many hats
A
do you
t-
think they sold?
so many. It has to be in the
Like
millions.
Hundreds of millions.
Hundreds of millions, yeah.
I'd even say billions. I don't know.
I would not say
No, I wouldn't
billions.
say billions.
I'd say within like the
That is a
400
lot of
million.
raccoons dead.
There were still hundreds and hundreds of them that they
No,
definitely
I would
murdered.
say with like the 300 to 400 million range.
Yeah, no.
Somewhere
Sure.
within there. I was like, that's a lot of kids. It's a lot of hats.
Yeah, that's a lot of hats and a lot
For a
of
lot of
kids.
years.
Like in the height of the baby boom, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Oh, this was the height of the baby boom.
Like those kids are like.
There are
they're-
so many 10-year-olds right now
that
watching
want-
Davy
They
Crockett.
want that hat and they want that rifle. And they're going to shoot their eyes out.
They are going to shoot their eyes out.
Can't reference that.
I don't know. That came naturally in my head, so I just like said it.
You theater kid.
It was a movie first.
I don't know. This first act's weird. Then we go on to
We go-
I
well-
don't know. These like flowed pretty.
Did you?
I don't know.
Like, seamlessly for me.
There's like a bunch of
for like being 3 episodes, this like really like flowed for me. I didn't like realize it. Yeah.
there's all of the wars and fights and just telling Andrew Jackson to fuck off. I'm gonna see my wife, and
Yeah.
you know,
The second act, we get to see more like put together Davy Crockett.
yeah, you see the more articulate side
Yeah.
of Davy
He's
Crockett.
become more of like everybody
God's
wants him
gift
to
to-
be like his endorse. Everybody wants Davy Crockett like endorse me. They just want his word. Come do this for me. Come do that for me. Come whatever.
He's like the Johnny Appleseed. Like everyone just knows him and was like,
I'll beat your ass.
Sorry, I didn't mean to bring him back.
I don't
up.
know what my vendetta against Johnny Appleseed is. I just hate him.
Fuck Johnny Appleseed. Are you kidding me?
I hate Johnny Appleseed. Ichabod, love him. Fuck Johnny Appleseed.
Ichabod was like ahead of his time, and
He was.
Johnny Appleseed is like, you know,
I don't know. Fuck Johnny
giving
Appleseed.
people Bibles and
Well, yeah, it was.
But no, yes, he was. We're just like, dude, you're the guy.
Everyone just knew him as the guy who could do it.
Like when they were fighting fucking they were doing the shoot off with
oh
Bigfoot.
yeah,
And like the entire thing happened, and at the very end, he's like, "Oh shit, you're Davy Crockett."
Of course you could do it.
Like he's just this name. He's a military dude, and all of a sudden he's Davy Crockett.
I mean, he's David Crockett.
Like
he has to. Like, he's Davy Crockett.
I don't know. It's just I feel like we get a lot more of what else can Davy do?
He is the ultimate frontier myth, and I think that's what he really came to in the 50s, like
It's almost
embody this
like a Hamilton thing where he's like starts off as this like he goes into war and then he's like congressman now because he's good at it.
Yeah.
I guess.
He's good.
Cool.
That's how a lot of shit happened. It's just like
You speak good.
I don't know. But
Congress.
Back then,
we need someone to
early
do
1800s was like it was weird. It was like you're good at this, do it. I don't care what you did before. You're good at it
He
now.
fought for the poor and opposed the Trail of Tears.
What?
Do you not know what the Trail of Tears is, Trevor?
No.
The Trail of Tears is where the quote-unquote 5 civilized tribes were forced to
just, like, shot
travel
back to, like, elementary school where I learned about
to
this.
areas in like Oklahoma and the surrounding regions
I
where many of
remember.
their people died along the
I
way
remember.
Because they had to walk.
Uh-huh.
as
Oh,
they were
shit.
forced off of the
That's
east coast.
Trail
of
of Tears makes sense then.
Yeah.
I completely remember that now.
History. Wow. I didn't know anything.
Yeah,
about that.
history's really horrible, and it's weird going into the Disney-fied version of
Yeah.
history.
So that's the Indian bill that they were talking about. Andrew Jackson wanted to sign a bill into law that made that happen legally.
But
Congress
he did it anyways.
didn't. Yeah, Congress denied it, and he said, "Fuck you, I do what I want," and he did it anyways.
Understood. Because I was wondering, I was like, okay, they're talking about this Indian bill and everyone's worried about it. I'm just going to assume Indian bill bad.
Was.
It was.
Was.
Yeah, understood.
It was quite bad.
I didn't know what it was meaning. I just context clues like Indian bill probably not should be passed.
It's the kind of shit that makes it really hard to like vibe with like frontier land more and more as time goes on. And I do think they're like
I enjoy Frontier.
let me be clear. I could be truly anywhere in the Disney parks and be pretty happy.
But yeah, he just like does shit, and then the Alamo episode, and he dies.
Well, oh, wow, okay. We're just gonna go.
We're just gonna
Oh,
skip the entire.
What else? I mean, his wife dies.
His wife does die.
we passed that too.
She dies of the
Was that in
fever.
2 or 3?
That was in
2.
2.
Got it.
In real life, he and his first wife had 3 babies,
I think
and then
didn't
she
it show
died.
2 in this?
He shed 2.
Yeah, and then she died, and then later that year he remarried
Damn.
to someone who already had 2 kids, and then they had 3 more babies.
Did he keep the kids, or did they stay with the supposed sister-in-law that we heard about?
I
in
think
the
he
movie?
just stayed with the sister-in-law.
Yeah, they just all lived together.
Oh,
I think
cool.
it said he asked her to move in to help him with the kids.
Okay. I mean, yeah, there was how many of them now?
Now there's like
By the end, there were 6,
6.
So many kids.
plus the 2 step kids.
6 plus 2 step kids.
Yes.
So
His,
8
his
total?
second wife already had 2 children.
And then they made 3 more kids. It's really
So there's 8 kids. That's a lot of kids.
too many kids. Too many little Crockett's running around.
Too many Crockett's.
Too many Crockett's.
Food is like already scarce on the old frontier. Davey.
Well,
like
Davey went from like shooting a bison for a winter to like 6 to feed his fucking family of
Yeah, I mean, he did.
6
it did
teenagers
say,
and
like-
2 toddlers and
He was constantly getting food for them. Like,
Yeah.
he was like, I need to get food for you guys. And I don't know.
I don't know. It sounds like Davey was a good family man.
sure.
That's what they presented him.
Well,
No,
They
you're right.
presented him to be like a.
This movie,
He's
He's
I
the
think,
ultimate
ultimate
family
guy
man.
who really likes his wife and kids, and
this
he's
movie
sad
definitely
when she
glorified
dies.
him.
No, this definitely glorified the fuck out of him, but I don't know.
it's the endless cognitive dissonance of Disney, where it's like, yeah, it's I know it's fake, and I know it was a lot worse in real life, but isn't it so fun to buy into the myth?
It's suspending your disbelief. It's I don't know. It's part of the Disney being a kid. Just like, yeah, I know this, like whatever, but like it's fun to like imagine if that's how it was.
Yeah, for
You
sure.
know?
It's fun to imagine.
Like, what if he wasn't so bad? You know?
And I mean,
I don't know.
it makes sense why, like, everyone loves Disney, but then at the same time, like, conservatives really love Disney
Yeah.
and will get very mad at everything that Disney does that vaguely includes either representation or gestures towards the idea that stuff like the American frontier or like outward colonialism was bad.
Yeah.
Who was Davy Crockett's? I almost
Fucking
With the
Georgie.
blue
Did
eyes.
you
Yeah.
say gay friend?
I almost just said gay friend.
With the blue eyes.
Yeah, with the really blue eyes. Who was that? Like, and was he
Like,
a real
was
person
that-
too, or did they
was
just
that-
needed like a
I'm
Disney
pretty
sidekick?
sure he's just a made-up sidekick.
Oh, so they needed a Disney
They
sidekick.
were
Yeah,
like, we need to
okay.
give Davy a friend because he's not doing this alone.
Well, he needs to like talk to someone.
yeah, he needs someone to banter with.
In
We'll give
real
him
life,
this guy.
in real life history, it is debated whether he died during the Battle of the Alamo or if he was captured afterwards and then executed.
POW.
Don't tell that to anyone in Texas.
Right. What does Texas think about that?
Wikipedia is free.
Wikipedia is free. I was going to continue, but I couldn't. Is there anything else that really happened in the story that we want to talk about? Again, we were talking about him becoming Congress.
Have we talked about how Hans Conried, Captain Hook himself, is in this?
No.
Yeah.
He's
Well,
like a
I-
major
I
part of
see
the
You mentioned
Alamo.
it, but
I mentioned a line he said, but that's about
He's
it.
dressed like Willy Wonka.
He is
Bro
dressed like
looks
Willy
like
Wonka.
he-
The actual Alamo sequence is shockingly unexciting.
Yeah.
It looked like they recycled a couple clips.
Couple.
A couple? No, yeah, it wasn't that fun for me.
It's-
I don't know, not
so-
fun to see guys climbing a ladder for 10 minutes.
It's just so strange because you would think in the grand myth making of Davy Crockett it would be
like an epic Alamo battle.
Yeah.
But no, we got like some guys coming in a fortress.
there's
that
a
was
John
it.
Wayne Davy Crockett Alamo movie, I think. So maybe that one
Maybe that
has
one's
like
better.
I'm pretty sure that movie's supposed to be like 18 hours long and fucking boring as shit,
It
but
was-
like maybe the actual
Damn, imagine the
sequences.
Snyder cut.
Damn.
It was really funny
Damn it.
though, because the entire Alamo fight at the end, it was just like it felt like it was building up, and
Yeah.
he was like by himself, and he's like hitting the guy, and then it fades, and it's like, and he's dead, and I was just like,
We can't actually show.
Well, it didn't
okay.
say he died. It just like was like, hey, we won't forget them.
well,
And I was like, oh, okay, what happened?
it was just really funny because
what
it was
happened to Davy?
it was building up, like it kept showing the 38 shots of them climbing up the ladder.
Yeah.
And then-
and everyone died.
Yeah.
It was like, get him, Davy, and then he shot
Everyone-
the cannonball.
everyone-
and then they bullied him, and that was the end.
Yeah, no, everyone was dying, and then he just was fighting by himself, and then he, I guess, died, and then
Maybe not. Maybe he was a POW. We don't know.
Well, he definitely died. The debate is how.
Well, the movie doesn't say he died, so we don't know he died.
Yeah, you're right.
Well,
Well,
I
I mean, he never dies as long as we remember
you know
the Alamo.
the movie
Oh
is
my God.
the movie is the exactly what happens. You're right. So like,
Yeah.
We need to remember
we don't
the Alamo
know if he
counter.
died.
I don't know how to do that verbally.
No, I mean I would do that for the TikTok.
Oh yeah,
Remember the
Hey,
Alamo.
Remember-
When
hey.
this episode comes out, or remember the Alamo counter.
remember the Alamo? Go ahead and say it.
Any Kingdom Hearts shit?
So there is in one of the it's one of the
Expected.
I don't know if this is true or if
so
he's building
in
something up.
the goddamn prequel mobile phone game you visit the Alamo. No, you don't.
Okay.
No.
Not even like a hat in any of the games or anything.
No,
There's
I
nothing.
don't think so.
Trevor, conspiracies.
Do you think they killed that lost boy who dressed up as a raccoon to make the hat?
That is, yeah. That's the connection. There we go. I like that.
That's the conspiracy.
That was Davy Crockett. That was Davy Crockett in Neverland, and then he came back to the real life and fought in the Alamo.
I was gonna listen. My conspiracy theory was just gonna be that Disney started the Alamo, but like that works too. I think his conspiracy theory works better than mine.
You don't know how long he was in Neverland. You don't know how time works in Neverland.
No, this
like,
is absolutely
The fact
a good
that
point.
it doesn't. That's the thing.
Yeah, but
It doesn't, so maybe it just like spits you out anywhere.
Or it spits you out where you came from. It doesn't matter how long you're there. It just
Right.
spits you out where you came
Oh,
from.
you're right. Like it's just kind of it's just kind of on the no.
I was
It
like,
exists outside of our...
okay, so we're gonna continue not talking about that.
Little thought.
What?
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 Nothing.
How many Alamos out of 5 are we giving this?
There's 5 Alamos. Jesus.
Holy fuck.
That's a lot of Alamos.
That's a lot of dead bodies.
That's a lot of dead
A
bodies.
lot of dead Crockett's.
A lot of dead bodies and
It's a lot of Davies Crockett.
white people pretending to. Anyway,
She Davy on my Crockett till I...
She
Alamo.
day on my knee till I Crockett.
She Davy on my crock till I it.
I give it.
Anywho.
I give it 2.5 Alamos.
that's so crazy.
I was gonna. Oh, sorry.
I'm not gonna say it
finish,
because
finish.
no, it wasn't gonna be that interesting. It was just because I don't see myself watching this like constantly, or like it's 2.5 because like I enjoyed it,
Yeah.
and it's like meh.
I was gonna give it 2 Alamos because it's like they picked a really boring random person from history and we're like movie.
I mean,
Yeah.
I don't think they picked a boring person from his. I think they picked they picked a name that was like known, and they were like, yeah, that one.
We're gonna run with this.
It was boring. That's my point.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, you're right.
Valid.
Yeah, I'm also probably in the like 2.5 remembrances of the Alamos camp.
I half
I just-
remember the
So
Alamo.
remember the Alamo. Remember the Alamo. Remember.
Genuinely, like production quality aside, I don't know, or like historical stuff. There's not much to grab me in this aside from it's like, you know, it plays. It is more of a time capsule than anything else. It is a time capsule to like the kind of stuff that was made and popular on TV, and it really should. It was never even meant to play in a theater in the first place. But like, the Western is dead for a reason. the Western does not hold modern viewers' attention because there is now nothing interesting about the Western to us.
Especially since we live in the West.
That doesn't fucking help. It really,
Yeah.
I honestly wonder how much of my disdain towards like that Westerns as a genre comes from that. That being said, Jake.
3 Alamo.
Oh,
Wow.
Racist.
Elaborate.
Was entertained. I don't know.
Valid. Why is it 3? I don't
I
know.
don't know. I like what's his face as Davy a lot.
Yeah, no,
I can really enjoy his performance.
Davy Crockett himself is consistently compelling throughout this.
I don't know. I enjoyed it.
Okay.
It's added to 3 out of 5.
You will remember the Alamo.
I'll remember the Alamo.
Oh, yeah, I'll remember the Alamo.
Alamo.
Alamo. I remember the
I'll
Alamo.
remember the Alamo.
Remember the Alamo.
Crackheads and crack friends, you can remember the Alamo with us on Twitter. You can find us at Remember the Alamo
It's
on
the
TikTok.
Australian
You can
accent.
find us
Remember the
on
Alamo.
Remember the Alamo.
Oh,
Insta,
yes.
And don't
Remember
forget
the Alamo.
to remember the Alamo.
And Never.
You guys are making my job really difficult.
And as always,
Editing Trevor, take us away.
remember the Alamo.
Thank you guys so much for listening. This episode was hosted by Xander, Jake, Trevor, and Rachel. Edited by Trevor and mastered by Rachel. We also want to give a huge shout out to our composer and artist who made our theme song and cover photo. Their links are going to be down in the description. Our links are going to be down there too. Lastly, we want to give a huge heartfelt thanks to our patrons. Thank you so much, Sophie. I think that's how you say it. It's just crazy to think that we can get as far as people actually supporting the things we do. It means a lot, really. It's going to help us make this podcast a lot better for everyone listening. Again, thank you so much to Sophie, and please feel free to go check out our Patreon. Thank you guys. And remember, this podcast would not be possible without all your support. From all of us inside the vault, thanks again for listening, and see you real soon.